Welcome back to Realize Displays training. In this video, we are going to go through the YouTube app, the Vimeo app, the streaming audio app, and then finally the Webpage app. Now, using these apps is very easy to do because all you need to do is simply drop them in and copy and paste a link. So let's take a look at the YouTube. Let's drop one of these into our canvas. And if you're not familiar with Vimeo, let's also drop this into our canvas, because when I click between either the Vimeo app or the YouTube app, when you look at the properties on the left, you'll notice hardly anything changes. That's because both of these sites operate almost exactly the same way. They are video uploading repositories, and both of them simply can play the video by copying and pasting your web address to the video you want. The difference, if we go to Vimeo.com, I'm sure everyone knows what YouTube is, but Vimeo is mostly a niche audience of videographers. And you can sometimes find some artistic content in here, which can be very helpful. Let's say you were going to find a travel scene. All you would need to do is click right on your video, and then you can copy and paste this link at the top to this video that you would like to show inside of your display. Now, the main difference is that a Vimeo video will not show ads. That's because the actual site themselves operate a little bit differently. So Vimeo can be useful if you are looking for more artistic videos, or specifically if you would like to create a channel yourself that does not have ads on it and allows you 4K playback. This can be a good site for you to upload your own videos to and stream them into your digital display. For example, we're just going to be using YouTube because there's a little bit more available resources for us to use inside of our slides. But just apply either of the tools to the Vimeo app as well, since they operate the same way. I found a really nice background video that we can use from Nova Scotia, and what we're going to do is copy the link to it, and we're going to use it as essentially an animated background of our slide. Now, the great thing about these apps is that you don't necessarily need to just play a video that you may have. You can actually use it for a piece of your content, to use it as a background. I'm going to paste the link here. And then when I unselect it, you'll notice that it comes up and it pops, so I can actually size this to the full screen, which is 1920 pixels wide, and then it will automatically set 1080 pixels. For positioning, we'll set it to 0 and 0, which will put it directly over the exact size of our canvas. Now again, if I just wanted to show this as a full screen video, maybe you own the video and you just want to play it, I'm pretty much done here. All I need to do is click Save and Back and throw it into a playlist, which we will show you in a different video. But for this, since there's no text on it, the great thing about it is I could, if I want, layer some graphics on it. So when it starts playing, text will appear, and this will essentially work like a nice picture background. If I click on the video, I'll have a play button, which I can use to see the content when the page will show. And then stopping it will then bring it back to the beginning. Now, the great thing is that I can choose to start playing the video at a certain time. So let's say when I went and copied this link and I previewed on YouTube, I can see that it will take approximately maybe 4 or 5 seconds for that text to disappear. So when I first paste that link here, I can go ahead and set the start playing at maybe 4 or 5 seconds. And now the video, you'll see, has changed, and it will start 5 seconds into the video, so we no longer see that text. The other thing you can do to help select the exact timing and content of the video itself is choose when the video will play. So for example, you can, whenever this entire page is shown, you can always play it from the beginning. Or maybe if this is a video that's longer and you want to show all the content, the video might only show 15 seconds at a time, and then it will pick up where it left off using the continue playing option. Most often for backgrounds, we will select play from the beginning, and by default, the volume is always all the way off. If you would like to show the volume or have the volume within your displays, make sure that this volume level is up. And then also make sure that your player box volume level is up. And then finally, make sure your TV volume is up as well, so that the video or the sound audio can come through all of those methods. For this training video, we're actually not going to use this video. We are going to select a different one, and we are going to help create a what's happening slide for an event center. So let's resize this down a little bit just so that we can see more of our canvas. And then the Alliant Energy Center is a event and expo center located in Madison, Wisconsin. So what we're going to do is they have a nice kind of preview video of their center, and we're going to use that as a semi background for our slide. We will drop it in, paste the link. We would like it to start from the very beginning. I believe it's only 15 seconds long, so we'll have just enough time to see the full video. And then when we press play, it should start streaming our new video. Okay, so here is our video here. I could turn up the volume so that we can hear it just to make sure it's if we did want to listen to it. But I'm going to stop the video so that we can see where the starting position is once again. Now what we're going to do is add in a couple elements, and we're going to use our web page and possibly our streaming video app to create a nice event slide here. Okay, now that we've added some elements around our video, we can kind of frame some different information in here. So you'll see that this about left 2/3 is our video, and we can play it. And then again, this will show when the page is shown, and it will give some animation and movement, which will draw attention to this page. But let's add in a couple other things. Let's use the Webpage app. Now, the Webpage app can be a very powerful tool because not only can you just simply go to a website, let's say AlliantEnergyCenter.com, and paste the web link and click the refresh so that it shows up. And now I have a direct window, essentially a link right to a live web page. Now this is great because I can see my scroll bars here. I can see the entire web page as it shows on your regular website. Here you can choose how often this content refreshes as well. So the one thing that can be used for this is not only maybe just creating a slide that says, hey, check out our webpage and put a QR code on it. But let's say we want to take it a step further and maybe even show some live information. So for example, we have upcoming events, and we maybe don't have an RSS feed to this or any other feed that we can use. But at minimum, we can at least point to this page with a little bit of resizing. And as I size it, you'll notice that the whole page will then fit to the overall window. So what I want to try to do is kind of make a page that is around that same column and then use my scroll bars to select a window of that content on the web page that I will use. So we want to find just these upcoming events. And you'll notice that I can change the web page overall resolution, width, and height. As I drag this web page height, instead of having 3,000 full pixels, I'm literally cutting off part of the web page. Now I can also change the zoom a little bit. So if I wanted these events to show up a little bit larger, I can grab the zoom, slowly drag it to be a little bit larger, and it will zoom in that content for me. So it may not be an absolute perfect connection to your content, but if this is your best option, it can actually look very nice. So I go ahead and I will drop this on the right side on the right panel here. And now if I choose this content to update every hour or every day, whenever this page comes up, it will automatically show me a link essentially to these upcoming events. One thing that should be noted about this is again kind of a rough way to have a live connection to data. If I go to the web page itself and I look on the right side, essentially what I've done is I've selected a window that is a specific size to only show on this side of the page. The web page itself has no idea what it's looking at. So let's say that somebody updates the website and it pushes the content down. Well, then I may see other elements being pushed into my viewing window that I created. So just keep an eye on this so that if you do have web updates to that website, you may need to go into these slides and make sure that it is still selecting the right area of the web page. Now, to take this one step further, if you do have a little bit of development experience, the web page can also be used to drop in a live Google Calendar. So with the help of a little bit of embed code, let's say if you have a Google Calendar and you have a variety of different events, inside your calendar you can click the down arrow, go to Calendar Settings, and then from here you'll see an Embed This Calendar. And you can click this Customize button right here, and that will give you a customized embeddable calendar. So if you are a web designer or you have access to your website, you can grab this code and host it on your website. It doesn't even have to be a visible web part of your web page. And then it will give you a link to that web page that holds this calendar. So I've already done this. So what I can do is copy the link that I created to this embedded code from my website. And I'm going to go back to our design, drop a web page in, remove the old link, and paste the link to my embedded web page that I created. Now, when I refresh the screen, oh, it looks like it changed my content again. Let's paste that one more time and then click the refresh. It will then pop up the actual embedded calendar that I created. Now, the nice thing about that embeddable screen that Google creates for you is that you could show the entire month of events, zoom them in so that you can see the full calendar as big as you want. And then you can also, again, choose to refresh the contents. Now, this is a great way if you did not want to use the calendar app itself that is built in that we went through in a previous video, but you just want to drop in the simple calendar from Google. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go through today, now that we have our web page embedded, we have our background video, we'll just do a quick overview of the streaming audio app. Now, I guarantee the streaming audio may not be used very much, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. The only thing that this can play is a hosted MP3 file or an OGG file. These are different sound types or sound file types. So what you would have to do if you own your own MP3 music or something like that, you would need to host it yourself. There is no upload button for this. And copy the link to that MP3 and paste it here. So for example, I took a MP3 test sound recording that I created, and I can paste it here, and then I can play it. This is a recording just to demonstrate the MP3 audio. This is a recording just to demonstrate the MP3 audio streaming app. So the nice thing about this is that you can actually, if you have maybe a song or something that you own and you want to host it yourself, you can simply paste the link to that MP3 or OGG file. And then when this page shows, it will play that song throughout the whole duration that this page is showing on your display. essentially like background music for only this specific page. Now, the one thing you have to keep in mind is this will not take a link from, say, Pandora or other streaming audio service. You actually need to link directly to that MP3 file itself. So for that reason, it can be difficult if you don't specifically own the MP3 files. That's the only way to use this app. The other thing to note, if you do use it successfully, this app itself has no sizing or anything on it. That's because when you play this page, this is going to be hidden. This icon and everything will not show up within any of your pages at all. So that concludes using the YouTube, Vimeo, the Webpage, and the audio streaming apps. Hopefully you can get creative and use them for your own displays.